Well, it's a very good afternoon and welcome along to a sun-drenched, for now, O'Garney Park here in 6 Mile Bridge. I have no doubt that's going to change a couple of times if the last hour has been anything to go by over the course of this contest. Well, after what was a dramatic evening last night in the Clare Senior Hurling Championship, the permutations for this one are quite simple. It's Clooney Quin versus Cratloe. From a Clooney Quin point of view, a win or a draw will do them for a quarter-final spot. Cratloe need the victory to leapfrog today's opponents into that second place on the league table. Team news is significant for you this afternoon from a Cratloe point of view. No David Collins and no Podge Collins. Both of them ruled out through injury. From a Peter Duggan point of view, well, he's back after that red card was overturned from the game here the last day in O'Garney Park as well. That one rescinded, so Peter free to line out at 11. Of course, no Ryan Taylor or Callum Hassett. Both of those long-term injuries for the men from Clooney Quin. Our match analyst this afternoon is Derek Dormer. We'll have a little chat later maybe about last night's proceedings. Derek, I've no doubt from a game point of view, this one has all the makings of just as much drama, maybe if not in the boardroom.
Well, at least we don't have mathematical permutations to go figure out. It's a shootout, for want of a better word, Derek. Last 16 tie, if you want to call it that. Huge, carrot of a quarter final on stake. And for both clubs, if Cratloe were to exit the championship, it would be unheard of. The way they've performed year in, year out, county semi-finalists, finalists, county champions, they've done the lot. But Clooney Quin are an emerging force. They have a lot of youth, blended with experience. I think they're a cracking team. Obviously, the loss of Ryan Taylor before the championships had a huge effect, but that won't matter to them today if they can get the job done and get into a quarter-final, Derek. They'll be hard to beat in Cusack Park, I'll tell you that.
How much of a loss though are the Collins brothers today, do you think?
Massive, absolutely massive. Both of them at either ends of the field. David with his marauding runs because, he can take up on one side and Cratloe love to switch the direction of the play. And it's kind of like a footballing style. They'll pop it to runners off the shoulder and then a quick switch and David Collins invariably on the end of it. And as a scoring threat, we all know what Podge can do, and he's just a huge, huge loss for Cratloe. They'll be very reliant on Conor McGrath, as always, and Cathal McInerney for scores here today. Rian Constantine will need a big game from place balls too.
It'll mean a reshuffle in the Cratloe team because Jack McInerney's been named in place of David Collins, and he certainly won't be playing corner back. So not only are you missing players, but I suppose structurally as well, you're probably having to rejig. Perhaps I would guess at least 2 or 3 lines. Jack is a forward, obviously, so it could mean perhaps the likes of Inda Boyce dropping back, and that would mean somebody else having to go to midfield, maybe Dahi Collins, and then maybe dropping Conor McGrath out to the half-forward line. So there's a lot of moving pieces from a Cratloe point of view.
Yeah, and I think you might have just got it almost right. I'd say that Inda Boyce will drop back. Jack McInerney will definitely go up to where Conor McGrath is, but I'd imagine Conor will roam around the middle of the field. Maybe not take up that from the throw-in, but I imagine that's where he'll go because he's their ultimate playmaker, and everything positive, it goes through Conor McGrath. He's great vision and he's great distribution. Obviously, taking him out of the full forward line, you're kind of robbing yourself of that goal. He's a goal-getter machine if he gets the ball in his hand, but he likes to dictate the play, and when he's in full flow, Cratloe are in full flow.
Talking about full flow, one of the great sights here the last day, albeit perhaps it started a little bit too late, with John Keneally's runs from that half-back line. And a lot of people are wondering who's going to pick up Conor McGrath, but I think actually Cratloe have to worry about who's going to pick up John Keneally, because if he's allowed the space of that centre channel to go the way he did here the last day, and particularly this breeze, I was just talking to a few of the lads beforehand, and they said it's a strange one for 6 Mile Bridge. Generally, if you can visualise it in your mind's eye for people that know O'Garney Park, it's going away down to the to what we call the village end, out towards the school end here. Generally, the lads said it goes the other way, but it is that strong wind where if John Keneally wins a ball on his own 45, gets as far as the 65 here, it becomes a chance for him to uscle the ghoulie, as they say on TG Carr.
Yeah, he's a tremendous prospect. I actually saw John Keneally last year in the Clare Cup catch a ball under his own crossbar. It was down in the market in the Clare Cup game. He caught it under his own crossbar and he sold it 80 yards straight down the field, evading tacklers after tacklers, just shrugging them off, and he split the post. It was an incredible score. He's an incredible talent. He's one for the future for Brian Lohan. Definitely. He's just an outstanding. He's already holding down the centre-back berth for his senior club side. That'll show you the potential he has. And they have great youth coming through. You've Jack O'Neill, you've Dannon Fox, Derek Yo, a couple of years of senior experience now, John Cahill. These are great young lads. And of course, Clooney Quin have been dominant in underage hurling, winning minor titles, contesting under 16A, 15A, failures. And if you can take 1 or 2 players from each age group every year, suddenly you have a great squad. And as you know, Derek, it takes a squad to win a match.
Yeah, it certainly does. And on that, then obviously the boost of Peter Duggan back. He's here in front of us just at the minute, lining up a couple of practice frees down into that school in here in O'Garney Park. So if you've got that kind of energy around that middle third of himself and Jack O'Neill and Dannett Fox dropping, and Jimmy Corrie brings great energy to that midfield as well, there's a lot there from a positivity point of view for Clooney Quin to build on.
Yeah, and they'll all be trying to work off Peter. I mean, I'm sure that Cathal Hannon will be launching ball down on top of Peter, and if Peter can break it left or right, or if he grabs it, he'll pluck it, pass it off to a runner, and they have runners. That's the thing, and they will run from deep, and it'll all go through Peter. And look, I'm not going to be commenting on anything controversial here or anything, but from every observer I met, that they said that this red card, should have been rescinded, and it's correctly rescinded, and let the man take his place today. So as a spectator, obviously, and a neutral, I'm delighted to be able to watch Peter Duggan again in the flesh, because he's a tremendous hurler for both club and county, and Clooney Quin will need a big game from him today if they're to persevere.
Yeah, he was one of the Clare contingent at that Hurling for Cancer event there earlier this week on Monday up in Netwatch Cullen Park in Carlow. Shane O'Donnell was there as well. Saw a couple of pictures of Shane in that familiar pose as it is now. You know, the one where the tongue is stuck out the side of the mouth, and it means that he's up to something like so. They're obviously well warmed up for that one.
I saw an interview actually with Shane, and the person who was interviewing him was from Cork, and he says to me, would you ever transfer, you like the, and Shane said, well, red and white are my club colours, but that's as far as it goes, he said.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, he spent his time in UCC doing his undergrad and masters as well, so he'd have an old tie lined out for UCC in the Fitzgibbon, if I'm not mistaken, as well, but that's all in the past. Of course, this evening then, we'll have Rogue versus Clarecastle and Fecal versus Broadford. They're the double headers at 6:30 in the other group.
You did have to mention that.
I did, of course. I see you're sporting the old black and white here this afternoon. It's nice and subtle, in fairness to you, but it's still the colours.
The heart rules the head.
Just on a word on the conditions, then the pitch is in great order. Walked it there about an hour ago. It's in perfect nick, but there's a very, very strong wind, very, very changeable conditions. It has rained 3 times, I think, since we pulled up here a couple of hours ago. So whoever has that wind, suddenly your scoring range, again, we said it last night, 20-25 yards added onto it. For Peter Duggan, he could only take the puckouts.
Yeah, for Peter Duggan, especially freeze. That'll be the important thing for Cratloe when they're playing against the wind, is not to give freeze from 80-90 yards, because Peter Duggan will come back and he won't lack for the distance. Both teams are very adept at working it through the lines. Cratloe will probably, as strange as it sounds, they'll probably be better against the wind at creating opportunities, because they love to pop it through the lines and play it off the shoulder. And when there is a strong wind, teams try and change their approach too much and go direct. And sometimes teams can shoot from ridiculous ranges, and you're having a couple of wides, and then it's just kind of a momentum killer. So it's as well as having the breeze, it's how you manage having it is the important thing.
Just got a message there from somebody else tuned in listening to the 2Ds, and she's complaining that she had to pay €10 for the privilege. But thank you for doing that, Mrs. McGann, and we'll say no more. Some people would pay more, would you believe? You got a bit of a bargain.
Well, if I knew she was being charged, it would have been 50, Derek.
Yeah, well, of course, on the radio, you can just stick it on for nothing, and we'll paint a picture in your mind's eye as good as any screen will. But of course, we are linked up with Clare GATV as well for today's fixture, and you can see the games as well this evening as from that other group. But a lot of talk here around 6 Mile Bridge this morning. Obviously, Derek is centred around last night and that particular controversy, or I guess, can you call it a controversy? The rule was there, just people weren't fully aware of it. That just explain to people, I guess, the thing was that the old scoring difference model was done away with, and it now is, if there's 3 teams level on the same points, you only assess the score difference from the games involving those 3 teams. So you would disregard it. So this situation could come up in the group this evening with Fecal, Broadford and Éire, that if Broadford were to beat Fecal, it would actually put Éire out. They could put 50 points in Clarecastle if they wanted, and it'd make no difference because the team not involved is discarded from it. So it was an incredible turn of events to be unfolding last night, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I wasn't aware of any of it. I just thought it was old-fashioned scoring permutations, and there was a couple of stages late on, Derek. Like the Mills had a 21-yard free, like with 5 minutes to go, and they elected to tap it over. And I was kind of going, what's that call about? Thinking they had to win by 5. But I suppose they were just viewing it on, if Crusheen lose by X amount and we just get a result. And look, it was a drama-filled evening, and I have to give credit to the Mills. They're a resilient bunch out there. I mean, 1-4 to no score down after 6-7 minutes. Cathal Malone ruling the roost, Shane Amori ruling the roost, and you were thinking it's going to be a long night here for O'Callaghan's Mills. But they rejigged their pack. They put a man marker on Cathal Malone. They slowly got to terms with the game. And, I have to be honest, although it was a last-second goal, they were full value for their victory. They had a lot of poor wides early as well when they came into the contest. And I don't think the Bridge can have any complaints about the result on the night. And, like, let your hurling be done on the field. Off the field, I'll leave that to someone else.
Yeah, me too, because we're in 6 Mile Bridge today, so we'll be very slow in bringing any of that up any further. Just a slight concern there for Clooney Quin. Saw Jimmy Curry just limping over here to the physio to get a little bit of treatment before the game commences. Kathleen Doyle going out to have a look at him, but he's gone in to that midfield area. Cratloe will have the wind in the first half. Our referee this afternoon, Niall Malone from Éire, one of our more experienced officials. Niall Quin, better known for Football Country, but he's the lineman here on this near side of the pitch. And I think it might be Joe Mullins over on the far side. We'll tidy all that up. But at the minute, Cratloe and Clooney Quin just underway here now in 6 Mile Bridge. Conor McGrath immediately posted to midfield, and a little bit of a scrap developing for the ball right exactly on that halfway line. The first ruck of the afternoon. Who's going to come away with it? It's the Cratloe captain, Cathal McInerney, going down the far side of the field. Lovely ball into the corner. It's looking there for Rian Considine, trying to jink around a talented guy, Rian, but he's on a sticky defender in the form of Evan Maxted. He gets the hand in, and Clooney Quin forced that first turnover in the half back line. Out comes the hand pass here to Jack O'Neill, tries to get the feet moving, looking to Niall Malone, saying, I've been pulled back. Niall agrees. Solid work inside once again from the Clooney Quin men. It was Evan Maxted putting in the initial block. Great work inside from McNamara to get it out. Shane, of course, inside there. First free is going to be dropping right into the verge of the square. Up they go for it. Peter Duggan has been posted to the edge of the square, has the ball on the stick, over the shoulder, curling that one across, but it's going to just drop, would you believe it, about 10 yards out from the goals, and forces Garrod Ryan to come out and take control. But out here to Dermot Ryan, hops the ball along the ground, looking for Inda Boyce. It goes by him, and on comes Jack O'Neill to it now, puts on the burners, going right through the centre, shortens up the grip, sticks the ball over the bar. It was just a half a mistake from Dermot Ryan's point of view. Ball didn't go to hand to Inda Boyce. In came Jack O'Neill. First point of the afternoon. Clooney Quin 1, Cratloe no score. 90 seconds played.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see when Peter Duggan took his effort, how much it held up in the wind. That'll show you the strength of the wind. And again, Cratloe, they stick to their pattern of play. Dermot Ryan an opportunity to launch that ball. They've Sean Gallagher placed in full forward. He's about 6'5", 6'6". That ball should have gone long, but they opted to work it through the lines, popped it along the ground, intercepted by O'Neill. He sauntered through the middle, and he was never going to miss. Fine score and a fine start from Clooney Quin against what is really picking up as a strong breeze, Derek.
Dermot Ryan goes over and picks that ball. Looks like he's got something of a free roll. Now, he launched that ball from just inside his own 20-metre line from where I'm looking, and it has actually gone away out to the left-hand side and wide. So if we needed an indicator of that wind, we know Dermot can bang them from a long way out, but God, that went to 100 yards.
Yeah, 100 yards plus, I'd say. And he must have heard what I said the last time, because instead of going short, he went direct. He tried to lob it into Gallagher, but the wind took it. It went wide. And again, we go back to what we spoke to at the start, Terry. How you control your play, playing with this wind, is going to be crucial, especially for Cratloe, because Clooney Quin will game manage this. They'll put runners off the shoulder, pop it through the lines, and they also have the option of going in direct to Peter, and it will hold up in this wind. So it's going to be very interesting.
The man with the red hat on the sideline for Clooney Quin is also our commentary sponsor here this afternoon, Tommy Corbett's Financial Services. He'll look after you if you have enough of it to look after. Tommy, just at the minute, looking after Clooney Quin down here on the sideline. Just a little bit of scrappy ball going down into the corner. The clock will tell us just coming up on 3 minutes played. It was Peter Duggan is still holding up inside in that full forward line now for the Clooney men, just taking this ball down in this corner. Again, a whole host of bodies just waiting for this ball to be struck, and doesn't really seem to be moving all that far. Now it has been cut right across towards Jack O'Neill. Ball didn't go to hand first time for him. Shane Neville, former Tipperary panellist from earlier in the year, he has been posted onto him to mark him this afternoon, this highly rated young man from Clooney Quin. Ball again, the ruck developing. Niall Malone just skulking around the outside, a bit like a scrum half might at the Rugby World Cup in a few weeks' time, waiting for that ball to come out. They can't see it right now. I can't either. All I can see is about 7 or 8 hurleys inside trying to find that little white ball. Niall Malone eventually blows the whistle.
Yeah, he ran out of patience.
He's just having a stern word there too with Jack O'Neill for perhaps some little bit of over exuberance in the ruck. He's going to throw the ball in. I often wonder, are referees better off just throwing the ball out over the ruck in these situations and getting it out into the space to move off again. Looking forward is the Collins brother that is playing today. That's Sean. Back to Conor McGrath, the man that makes Cratloe tick. Let's see, can he get them on the board? McGrath with the strike, but again, it goes to the left-hand side and it goes wide. And you'll often see, and it has materialised in a number of games down the last couple of years, when a team has that wind, it kind of encourages you to shoot when it may not be the best option.
Yeah, and again, that's true. I'd say Dermot Ryan's was more of an effort to drop to Sean Gallagher, but that was definitely a chance that Conor McGrath elected to shoot. Peter Duggan has it in his hand here.
Taking it from Keneally and sending it between the posts. That's a brilliant score. John Keneally, central in that half-back line as we spoke in the lead-up. And ironically enough, that was kind of a move that you'd nearly do with the wind. A long direct ball into the big man at the edge of the square. Clooney lead, 2 points to no score.
Yeah, and the wind is holding it up, you see, and Peter Duggan's going to be an awful threat inside because you can deliver that ball and it's going to hold up so much so that he has 10 or 15 yards of space in front of himself to come out and try and pop it in his hand. Cratloe have Dermot Ryan position back, but that's just, trying to block off the space because in fairness, Ronan O'Donnell has gone out to the midfield. Clooney Quin are trying to crowd out the centre here. They don't, they're going to try and force Cratloe to shoot from distance rather than getting it into the scoring zone. It seems to be working at the moment. Cratloe 2 wides, Clooney 2 points.
Ball again cut into the centre. Once again, though, it's Boyce providing that little bit of energy across now to Conor McGrath. Can he get there first? No. Good work outside there from Ronan O'Donnell on that occasion. Looks up, tries to go long, but Dermot Ryan scampers across. He'll pick this ball up. Look at the pace of Peter Duggan coming out trying to get the block in, and he was just spent as he arrived. But savage work rate. We've seen that. Remember the little interception in last year's semi-final against Kilkenny? Who was the man he set up that day? Dermot Ryan. That'll tell you how club loyalties can divide you within a county. Into Boyce trying to divide this Clooney Quin defence at the moment, trying to turn back. Shane Neville there is an option. So too is Luke Healy over the shoulder with this shot. And once again, from the sideline, ball goes to the left hand side and wide. It's Clooney Quin 2 points. It's Cratloe no score, 6 played.
Yeah, and that's shooting from the I call it the 1 out of 10 zone, Derek. There's no need to shoot. That ball should have been recycled. If you're going to use the wind, and to shoot from distance, shoot from a central position so you can just pop that. That's trying to cut it over from a tight angle. Whether there's a wind or not, it was a hard ask. And that's 3 poor wides for Cratloe already. And, we're 6 minutes gone. They've no score, 3 poor wides.
First bit of space done now for Colin McInerney to move into, but who's there again? Only that man, John Keneally, looks and drives the ball long down on top of Liam Markham and Peter Duggan. Duggan tries to read it inside. He snapped it in the left hand. Duggan going through. Brilliant save, Gerard Ryan. Rebound still there. It's gone to the right and wide. It was brilliant work from Peter Duggan to win that ball, turned inside, knew the space was behind him, took the snapshot. Gerard Ryan was equal to it. The ball broke down in front of him. In went Peter with the follow-up. Just didn't get the cleanest connections. It was one of those where he was kind of going away from the ball as he struck slightly off balance. But let's watch. I think has Niall Malone brought it back for a free in? He has. There was a little tug on Peter there as he broke through for the initial effort. But once again, Clooney Quin finding the key to unlock this Cratloe defence.
Yeah, and it came from John Keneally again. Lovely direct ball to Peter Duggan. He held the man off, got it into his hand, and he'd only one thing in his mind. He was going for the juggler. Good shot. Solid save from Gerard Ryan. The rebound speed.
He's gone for it.
Goal again.
It's just dipped under the crossbar. He tried to catch everybody unawares, including the pair of us here in the commentary box, but it was well saved inside the Cratloe goal, and well, it remains intact for the moment. Will that be the little spark maybe to lift them into this game? 7 minutes gone. The Cratloe yet to register a score. Now they might with Conor McGrath. Nobody's robbed there. Brilliant work from Grogan. Conor Grogan at 3 for Clooney Quin this afternoon. Ball again into the hands outside here of Trevor Lee, able to stand and drive it. Once again the target inside. Duggan resting away there with Dermot Ryan on his hands and knees. Somehow got the ball up. Surely
that's incredible stuff.
Peter Duggan's work rate is simply outstanding. He's a man of class, power and pace, but persistence with it.
Oh, what a pick-up, Derek. Surrounded by 4 Cratloe players to flick it into his hand while he was falling to the floor. Drew the free, and I'm sure he'll tap this one over, but what a start from Peter Duggan. Every ball that's gone in, he has either won it or won a free or broke it down. There is just no marking him, and I know we're only like 8 minutes in, but he's having a scintillating start, and so is John Keneally, centre back and full forward, dominant for Clooney Quin. That's a good sign if you're a Clooney Quin supporter.
Duggan just gathering his breath and wiping the boss of the hurley in under his oxter as he bends to catch this ball. He'll strike it straight between the posts. No messing with this one, Peter. Just trying to conserve the energy now as he struts away after that one. It's his second point. It's Clooney Quin's third. They lead by 3 points to no score. 8 minutes gone here in the opening half as the sun returns to O'Garney Park here, the Tom Morey Memorial Stand across from us here. And once again, it's Clooney Quin. A little bit, you know what, this is a small bit like Lissy Casey and Innistyman in the football last week, in that it is work rate that has been the differential here in the first 8.5 minutes.
Yeah, and look, you can't buy it. Work rate decides almost every single match. If it comes down to quality, that's a different thing. But if you don't work hard enough, you're in trouble. And at the moment, Clooney Quin are working like savages just to get in, get dominant, break balls, putting pressure on every Cratloe attacker, just giving them no time, no space on the ball, and They're totally and utterly in control at the moment, albeit it's only 3 points. But, Cratloe have a very strong wind and they've not making use of it whatsoever.
Well, they may now with Conor McGrath, who's going to try and punish a loose enough clearance in towards the big man at the edge of the square there, Sean Gallagher. But again, it goes by him, snaps it out here towards Derek Hugh. Just a little bit too much on that. It goes out over the sideline. It'll be a line ball for the Cratloe men, who just need to settle into the contest now. John O'Gorman's men, of course, they need the victory. The draw, as we mentioned, will do Clooney Quin for that qualification spot. The other game in this group is tomorrow in Clarecastle. It's a high noon showdown between Newmarket and Wolftones. It's something of a dead rubber in the sense that Newmarket are through and Wolftones are into that relegation battle, but both sides will want those local bragging rights. At the minute though, it's Clooney Quin with the bragging rights here in O'Garney Park this afternoon. Ball right down into that top of the left position, trying to come away with it. Ball goes down to the ground once again. Keogh's back there trying to bend his back, trying to snip it up. There was McInerney, and the referee Niall Malone has spotted that there was a free. It's going to be a free in for the Cratloe men. An awkward enough kind of an angle, but a score that they'll just need to settle down and then reset for the puck out, try and keep the squeeze on.
Yeah, and look, it's Rian Constantine's first attempt at a free. It's a difficult angle. It is only 25 yards, but it's all about the angle here. It's all about the accuracy, and especially with the wind, he needs to go to the far post here. They need this score just to settle down after 9 minutes.
Rian Constantine usually delivers when Cratloe have the need. Let's see, can he do it once again? He certainly can. Did exactly as his coach said here in the commentary box. Put the ball out to the right post to let the breeze guide it back in. It's blowing down towards this top of the left corner really, and certainly making a difference at the moment. 3 points to 1. Sharp puck out, almost didn't work out there for Evan Maxted. He did well to recover. Derek Hugh once again offering the width as that out ball, but now he starts to get swallowed up as Cratloe start to crank into life. Was there a push in the back there on Jack O'Neill? There was a push in the back on someone, but the ball had gone out over the sideline, so that overrules all. Niall Quinn right on the scene here. Shawnee McMahon and Neil O'Brien, two very experienced men in terms of officiating as well, just keeping an eye on things as we watch Shane Neville. Blue helmet on his blue Cratloe jersey, getting that line ball, but it just goes out over the sideline. Line ball again for Clooney Quin, and yet, as we say, 11 minutes played, 3 points to 1. No major life in it just yet.
No, and look, that line ball, Shane Neville, a line ball with a wind, that should have been popped centrally, straight down the channel. He tried to go down the line low with it. It goes back out for a line ball for Clooney, and that's symptomatic of the way Cratloe are performing at the moment. 11 and a half minutes in, no score from play, just a Rian Constantine pointed ball, and they're just being outworked and outfought and outtaught at the moment.
Jack O'Neill putting on the pressure there, and now coming away with it is Shane Harrison moving across to the centre. It is Jimmy Curry going right through the centre, looking at the goal and sticking it to the back of the net. Well, whatever bit of treatment he got just before the game has certainly played its part. Jimmy Curry picking that ball up, but once again a ball Cratloe should have been in control of. In the boys just lost his footing. In came Harrison, set up Jimmy on the far side of the field, and he stuck the ball to the back of the net. Big score against the breeze for the Clooney Quin men. They lead 1-3 to 1 point, 12 played.
And the injection of pace that Curry got as soon as he got the pop pass of Harrison, he had only one thing in his mind: head down. He knew he had the legs. He, burst away a 5-6 yard gap, opened his shoulders, left hand side, bottom right hand corner of the net. Fantastic finish. And Clooney Quin are full value for their lead, and Cratloe are in serious trouble here, Derek. And it all symptomatic again. You go back to Shane Neville's line ball. The line ball is given out for another line ball. And I think we have a point there.
We certainly do, yeah. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was Dahi Collins that got it as well. We'll tidy that up in just a second. Happened way down here in just a part of the field that's slightly blocked to us at the moment. But the ball has been taken quickly. The puck out over towards Jack O'Neill, trying to shrug off the challenge, moving into the centre. He has runners off the shoulder. Jack decides to go himself, and he's fouled as well. Great bit of stuff, this fella. Point on the board already for him. Minor last year. My God, how he has blossomed. Right, there's going to be a free straight in front of the post. It's going to be Peter Duggan to take it, and all ends up. This one should be adding to their tally once again.
Yeah, and look, again, you can see it. They're full of pace, Derek. Clooney Quin, full of youth, full of fast legs, and it's a lethal combination to have the ability to win your own ball like Jack O'Neill did there, then turn on the afterburners, draw the free, and Peter Duggan, no bother slotting that over.
Does the needful. Peter Duggan gets his third point. If you're interested in Premier League scores, Manchester United have turned it around against Nottingham Forest. They were 2-0 down after 5 minutes. They now need 3 goals to 2. 2-1 as well. Arsenal were 1-0 down against Fulham. They now lead Bukayo Saka and Eddie Nketiah on the scoreboard for them. Who's going to be on the scoreboard next here? here in O'Garney Park. Won't be any of the lads I just mentioned there a while ago. Anyway, we can say that with some bit of certainty.
We're in serious trouble if Bukairi Saka gets a goal.
Yeah, we'll wait and see what will happen. It's Trevor Lee with the ball at the minute, pings it out to the far side of the field. Once again, it's Ronan O'Donnell heading for the end line, dropping the ball inside to Peter Duggan. He holds it.
Incredible.
Puts it into the back of the net. Well, Bukayo Saka wouldn't have that level of skill. Let me tell you, what a brilliant goal from Peter Duggan. It was a high, hopeful ball inside. He had to stick out the hurley. It looked all ends up as if it was dropping into the keeper's arms. Peter, with the first touch, broke it down to his feet. With the second touch, swept it into the bottom corner. It's a second goal for Clooney Quin. It's 2-4 to 2 points. 14 minutes played. Our commentary sponsor, Tommy Corbett, must be buzzing below. Let's see what will happen here. Ball gone out for a 65 off the stick of Cathal McInerney's initial shot. But let's go back to that goal. One to add to Peter Duggan's already considerable highlight reel.
Worth the admission fee alone, or if you're paying for this or listening on the radio, that was just an incredible piece of skill. Ronan O'Donnell was basically attempting a point. It held up in the wind. The fullback's in front of Duggan. He gets the hurley out in front of the fullback, flicks it with one touch onto the ground, and then doubles on it into the back of the net with the second touches. 2 touches, boom, bang, back of the net. Incredible stuff from Duggan.
That's the technical terms. Boom, bang, back of the net. That's just as simple a description as you can get as we watch Rian Considine at the 65. As simple a finish as he can get. That's his second of the afternoon as the sunshine once again returns here in O'Garney Park, hitting all 4 corners at the minute. Puck out taken down the line. Once again, Jack O'Neill the target, and just kept that ball from going out over the line. Forces Conor McGrath, who has dropped back now deep into more of a defensive role. He was around midfield starting off. I'd say he's still there, but he's being well tracked by Donagh O'Sullivan. Turns him back around, gets the call from Liam Markham. He's been shoved out the field. Diarmuid Ryan and Peter Duggan. That's now a direct match up inside in the edge of the square, and Diarmuid going back there because once again it is Clooney Quin who have turned that ball over. Out it goes for Ronan O'Donnell once again, trying to play it in behind towards Peter Duggan, but well read by Gearóid Ryan, and in fairness to Diarmuid, peeled off cleverly as well to be that out ball for his keeper to find. But you can see Clooney Quin absolutely going for the jugular here. Remember, playing against the wind. Long direct ball inside. That one deflected out. It's going to go out to the left and wide, another 65. But as we said, 2-4, that's 10 points to Cratloe's 3. It's a 7-point lead, and Clooney Quin have played 16 minutes against a very, very strong wind.
Yeah, but look, Cratloe have adjusted now. They've had to readjust. They brought Diarmuid Ryan back. He's going to do a man-marking job on Peter Duggan. What was interesting there was as soon as the keeper got it, Diarmuid Ryan cleverly pulled off for it. He got a little flick pass, and he was 130 yards away. Drops it right in at the edge of the square. Up go all the hurleys. It takes the deflection, goes out for 65. And Cratloe need to do more of that. Just make sure they don't overhit it to go wide. Drop it into the edge of the square. Any touch, it could end up in the back of the net. And at this stage, they probably do need a green flag to get a bit of life into him.
Rian Considine has a green helmet, but he hasn't got the flag as he gets his second 65 of the afternoon. That's 3 from place balls for Rian. It's 2-4 to 4. Those goals now the difference. We will, of course, be having our man of the match selection at the end of the game. Patrick Burke-Menswear once again kindly sponsoring that as we watch the puck up being taken by Cathal Hannon. Dropping it right down here inside. Underneath it is Enda Boyce. He'll always work hard around that middle third. So too will Derek Keogh. Goes between 2 Cratloe men, gets the little bit of reinforcement from his Clooney Quin teammates, and in particular Evan Maxted down the line here to Jack O'Neill, catches the ball and turns his direction in the air before he landed, looks at the post and points a screamer. Jack O'Neill, take your hat off. That is an outstanding score. There's only very few players I've seen in the game that have the ability to do that, Derek. He twisted in midair so that when he landed running, he was facing in the right direction and then cut inside to make the angle and pick a beauty.
Absolutely wonder score from O'Neill out here on the touchline, and you described it perfectly. Up he went, and as soon as he got the ball into the lob, he twisted his body so that he landed on the front foot, landed running, then cut inside the defender and split the posts. An incredible score from O'Neill, from an incredible talent. We saw him last year from minor for Clare. He was outstanding. He's taken that form into this year's senior championship. It's a huge plus for Clooney Quin, Derek.
It's 2-5 to 4 points. It's Clooney Quin in front. They look on course at the minute to get that quarter-final spot, but Cratloe now will have to find something from deep. Shane Neville coming up to come onto this ball. Daw does well to win it, steps inside the challenge and fires it over. That's better from the Cratloe men. You can see them getting the encouragement here from John O'Gorman and the rest of the management team underneath us. It's 2-5 to 5 once again. They're just keeping that 6-point gap, but the time with that wind is starting to run out for them. They'll have 12 plus the additional time left here in this game. Long puck out once again. That's reaching the 65 over, and Jack O'Neill does the same once again. Puts up the hand, wins the free, and just walks away and says, Dougie, out you come and hit this one. He'll be 65 metres out from the post. You wouldn't back against him, but what leadership again from the young man wearing 12.
You can't buy quality like that. That's like Shane O'Donnell, for Clare in his pomp, winning a puck out, direct, winning your own primary possession, taking it from mid-air, drawing the free. That's incredible stuff. This young fella's only 18, 19 years of age, only out of minor, so just 18 years of age. Long puck out, drop down, no problem, up into the air, into the hand, turns his man, draws the free, and puts Clooney Quin back in the front foot. Jack O'Neill's had a storming start to this match.
Peter Duggan is almost standing on that far sideline, 65 metres out from the post, but this one has been forced out to the right-hand side and wide. It stays 2-5 to 5, 19 played in the opening half. Tommy Corbett, Financial Services, are our commentary sponsors. It's a long puck out now from Garrod Ryan. He's reaching that far side of the field. Conor McGrath realises it's going to bounce in behind him, but so too did Donogh Sullivan. He's doing a great job tracking him over there. McGrath, though, forces him into conceding the line ball. They'll be happy enough with that. In fairness to Clooney Quin, defensively, and it's probably anchored by John Keneally, they're really forcing Cratloe to go down the flanks, and if a team scores from out there, sometimes you just have to take your hat off and say well done. And as I mentioned it, here he comes storming forward, breaking up that latest attack. Off he goes. We saw this several times the last day. Gets the hand pass into the centre. This time it's going to work out for them though, and it does, and it's a brilliant strike coming in here once again from Corrie, but it's going to just drop out to the right hand side and wide. But it's the ease at which John Keneally is being allowed out with them runs that would concern you.
Yeah, and it's all to do with the defensive shape. Clooney Quin have all their men, and they're going man for man. There isn't a spare blue jersey anywhere to be seen in the forward line. Each man is tracking the blue jersey they're assigned to. They're tracking the runs, and look, they're swarming in packs then when a player in blue has possession and they're overturning the ball. Then they're coming through the centre like Keneally did there, popping a hand pass off, and it's great stuff against the wind. It really, really is to have 2-5 on the board after 20 minutes. And I have to say this wind is really, really strong, and it's picking up all the time, which is ominous for Cratloe, because Clooney Quin will have it at their backs for the second half.
I was just going to say the flags do seem to be blowing that little bit stronger, and it's Rian Constantine that'll have it in his favour now at the moment. He has won a 65 that he's going to take just out here in front of us. Niall Quinn coming in to show him exactly where to put that sliotar. He'll have number 13 in his back. Once again, he has got 3 points here so far for Cratloe this afternoon, and Shane Neville and Dahi Collins getting the other 2. Here comes Rian with the 65. We'll have a good old view on this one as we watch it heading towards that school end here in O'Garney Park, and that's a wonderful score once again from Rian Constantine. He's been very, very consistent from those place balls, but the other side of that is, Derek, that in fairness Cratloe have been very reliant on them. Yeah,
they've only 2 scores from play, 4 from Rian Constantine, 3 65s. Great block down here though, a great block down by Enda Boyce, but showing his work rate.
Yeah, brilliant defending then from Conor Grogan to get back and try and recover the mistake, but it goes back out to Boyce, and once again he's being forced to shoot from the sideline, and again the ball has gone to the right hand side and wide. So
those 1 out of 10 shots again, Derek.
But you'd be happy defensively with Clooney Quin forcing them into those areas.
You'd let them shoot all day from under the stand. I mean, they're going to score 1 or 2 out of 10 attempts from that exact angle. You'd let them have it all day down the centre of Clooney Quin, or the whole central zone packed. They're forcing Cratloe to shoot from angles and forcing them to shoot from distance. It's all working out for Tommy Corbett's men at the moment.
Again, making a scrap of it there around the Cratloe half back line, giving them absolutely no platform. Savage work rate from the forwards, but this time the referee has spotted a little bit of a pullback, so that's going to be a free out. He was trying to play the advantage. Liam Markham is very eager to get on with things, throwing the ball back there to Diarmuid Ryan to hit this free. Now Diarmuid is just on his own 45 metre line roughly. That's exactly where he's standing, and he's shaping to shoot, so that'll tell you the breeze is certainly in his favour, and he's well capable of it. We've seen him do that. Will we ever forget that point against Cork in Cusack Park in the Munster Championship this year, as we watched that ball floating? What did I tell you? Diarmuid Ryan from his own 45 metre line dropping that ball over the bar. A score now that brings it back to a 4-point game. Clooney Quin 2-5, Cratloe 7, 22 and a half minutes played here in the opening half.
Yeah, and look, Clooney Quin will still be happy, but they're going to have to, just for the remaining 7 or 8 minutes, stop the indiscipline, stop giving them the place balls, because they're landing them from everywhere, and that's giving Cratloe a chance to get a foothold back into the contest. Clooney Quin need to just watch their discipline. Yeah,
but they're comfortable enough in that full back line as well, and picking out a beautiful ball out there for Trevor Lee to run onto, looking at the post, striking off his left. It's going to tail across. Peter Duggan puts up the hand, looked like it was going wide. Nothing is there when Peter Duggan has it. He's trying to blow off the challenge of Diarmuid Ryan. Ball goes back to the ground. Out comes Garrod Ryan. Niall Malone says up you get. It was an honest to God challenge inside, and in fairness it was between the 2 county teammates. This time. Diarmuid bringing it out here to Sean Collins, just turning back onto his left side. First little bit of bite we've seen. Down the line it comes to Cathal McInerney, sliding out and winning his free. It was Cathal, like a Premier League goal celebration there out towards the corner flag on his two knees, winning that ball, showing great leadership. And if Rian Considine can land this one, suddenly in the blink of an eye, we're back to 3.
Yeah, and look at that. You go back there 30 seconds ago to Duggan versus Ryan. It's like an immovable object Diarmuid Ryan was against a huge force of Peter Duggan. Thou shall not pass. Held him up. You could see the physicality levels that both have, the intense shape, the work, the conditioning that they're in, and that was just supreme battle for the ages. And Ryan won it this time. He's done a good job since he went in, Derek, on Peter Duggan, in fairness.
The 65 though has just stayed left and wide. The breeze blowing towards that corner, so maybe the other post should have been the target there for Rian Considine. Bad news for Everton fans. Crystal Palace lead 1-0 in the Premier League late on, and I don't know, does that affect many people here in 6 Mile Bridge? I think I know one it might.
Yeah, you're just great delivering news today.
Just had to pick up on that. Arsenal 2, Fulham 2, and still United leading 3-2 as well. That's the latest from there. Back to the action here in O'Garney Park as the ball breaks down. Sean Gallagher trying to pick it up, but savage work back there from Shane McNamara. No one was going to pass him out as he won that ball down to Jack O'Neill. Got a fair slap from Shane Neville, and he hit a fair slap coming out there in Jack McInerney. A fair one though, says our referee. It's Trevor Lee on the far side of the field. Goes to the ground, picks up the ball, gets the hand pass away. Ronan O'Donnell almost come onto it. It'll be a line ball. Jack McInerney's back up onto his feet, but we've spoken about the development of Jack O'Neill as a hurler, but physically, my God, how he has developed since.
Yeah, what a catch again. Straight into the hand, took the shoulder as if it didn't even matter to him, and popped a lovely pass over to Trevor Lee. Just unfortunate the hand pass into Ronan O'Donnell, just went out for a line ball. But Clooney Quin will be happy at the moment. You know, if started this match, you told him you'd be 3 up with 5 to play, playing against this wind, you'd take it all day long.
Yeah, 25 and a half minutes played. They're leading by 4. In fact, 2-5 to 7 points, 11-7 when you break it all down. And they have possession on the far side of the field once again with a line ball. I think that's Jack that's gone across to take it. Sean Gallagher being screamed at to come out in case at all this will be turned over. Now he's been told to go back in. Line ball comes out. Out comes Diarmuid Ryan to win it. No messing. Just first times it out in front of himself to try and get that run to come through, and going back for it is Dahi Collins. Lovely 1-2 to Diarmuid Ryan off his left. Will this ball travel? It will, but it's going to curl and stay out to the left hand side and wide. It would have been one that would have really lifted his team, but on this occasion just too difficult to task from that point of view. And Tommy Corbett once again coming out delivering some instructions there to Peter Duggan, who chased out Diarmuid Ryan there all of the 60 or 70 yards that he needed to. Now he'll just take time to move back in towards the edge of the square. It's Clooney Quin coming away with it. It's John Cahill getting that ball away down the line here once again to our goal scorer Jimmy Curry. Has he put that ball over the bar? He certainly has. Just for the briefest of moments, Gerard Ryan thought that he could look up and maybe get it, but it just travelled over the crossbar. It's 2-6 to 7. It's Clooney Quin leading by 5. 3.5 plus additional time to go to the break.
Yeah, and I'm just interested to know, I wonder what Tommy Corbett actually said to Peter Duggan there. I think he told him just take your time going back in, kind of force Diarmuid Ryan out again, create some space inside maybe, but he sauntered back into the full forward line. Clooney Quin have retreated most of the players, and it's just Peter Duggan and Diarmuid Ryan inside at the edge of the square. And what a battle that's going to be, especially when the second half with the wind.
One, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the man that lined out in the Cratloe jersey for many, many years before announcing his retirement, the great Martin Ogie Murphy, is away here to our right-hand side of the commentary position. And what a brilliant servant to the club he was. I think based overseas now for the most part at the moment. He's here watching on though this afternoon. At the minute though, he's side trailing 2-6 to 7. 27 minutes played here as we watch Clooney Quin once again at their ease working the ball out to Derek Yo. Keneally's there if he wants to play it out to him. It's instead John Cahill that has it, just slipping there. Took an accidental blow to the face. In fairness, yeah, it was totally accidental. It happened right here in front of us. He just, as he tried to cut inside, just slightly lost his footing and kind of fell into the challenge as much as anything. So he'll take his time to get his attention on. Play what I'd imagine resume with a Cratloe indirect free.
No, Niall Malone has already awarded the free to Cratloe for over carrying by John Cahill.
Right. Okay,
so yeah, he's saying he over carried it. the Clooney Quin management team, one of the members there, isn't happy with the decision. But in fairness to Niall Malone, he had blown his whistle before the contact was made, and it was accidental contact. So look, he's going with his first call, which was a free for overcarrying.
Free for Cratloe, so if be taken by Diarmuid Ryan on his own 65, no more than a step or two inside this near sideline from where we're watching. He's driving the ball away down again towards that goal end. Has he measured this one? It'll be very, very tidy, but it's just gone to the right hand side and wide once again. So the wide's racking up from a Cratloe point of view. It's Clooney Quin still leading 2-6 to 7 points, a minute and a half plus the additional time to go.
Yeah, and again, it's the shooting, with the wind, you're just forced. I mean, that was a 90-yard attempt at a free. You have to go from with the wind, but if I was involved there, I'd be saying, look, concentrate on the accuracy more so. Even if you drop it short, it's still in play rather than trying to blaze it over the bar, because a wide is just a killing. You're giving a free puck out to the goalkeeper. So in these situations, you need to concentrate on the accuracy. If it drops short at the edge of the square, you never know what's going to happen. But a wide ball is just putting the hand back in the goalkeeper who can start an attack from his puck out.
It's Cathal McLeod, Serene Constantine, I should say, down this near side.
That's a wonder score.
That is an absolute beauty off his left. He was almost standing on the sideline when he struck that ball, caught the breeze brilliantly as it arced in over that crossbar. A score that Cratloe needed once again just keeps them in touch. 2-6 to 8 points. But again, Clooney Quin getting their puck out of the way a little bit too easy from a Cratloe point of view, as Jimmy Corrie was the man that has driven it into the corner, looking there for Shane Harrison. Great tracking by Cayman Deegan. Gets the call behind him from Diarmuid Ryan. Again, meeting the force that is Peter Duggan. He has been fouled, and Diarmuid just getting on top in these last couple of stages, and you can see already he's telling lads to get wide and get in towards the edge of the square because he's taking a free from his own 21.
And this is going to drop right in at the square, judging by the last couple of efforts with the wind. Diarmuid has a huge slap of the ball, and here we go.
It's going to drop right on the top of the D. That's exactly where it's going. Gallagher goes up with the hand, but it's broken down and out to the side, and Jimmy Corrie reads that break brilliantly. Picks it up, tries to cut the angle across, switch the point of attack all the way across here to this near side of the pitch. It's Rian McNamara going back and picking up that ball, but challenged brilliantly outside there by Ronan O'Donnell, and indeed he has forced it to the ground, trying to force the turnover, and it's Trevor Lee that might just profit from it, getting it back. That ball was picked clean off the ground.
Absolutely.
By Cathal McInerney. We were inside in the commentary box and we could see it. Niall Malone was no more than 10 yards away. He spotted it as well. Extremely blatant, it has to be said, from a very experienced player.
Yeah, down he went, and he had his hand along the grass as he was trying to lift it. I don't know what he was at there.
Derek Yo takes the free. Peter Duggan's the target. He's won it inside. He's breaking through. If that has gone, it's just gone left and wide. It's going to be a penalty though. He was right inside. Peter Duggan once again. Sometimes hurling, I've often said it, it can be a very, very simple game. Big target man inside. Feed the ball into him. When you have a hand like Peter Duggan, why not? Won that ball between two Cratloe defenders. Down he came. They had no choice but to get physical. He did get the shot away. It went wide, and Niall Malone right on the scene. He's going to have a word now as well with Diarmuid Ryan. He might be going into the little lower dove in his hand at the net.
Carte Bui, I'd say, for I know Joseph O'Garrick loves his Irish, so it'll be Carte Bui.
Yeah, it certainly is. And if it was the inter-county game, to be Carta Dove territory, let me tell you, because it was that goal-scoring opportunity. But what another big moment here now. Peter Duggan with this chance at the minute. Clooney Quin leading Cratloe 2-6 to 8 points. We're well into the injury time of this first half, and Niall Malone just making sure everything is as it should be. His linesmen have come in support as well. So it's Garrod Ryan inside the goals, just throwing the ball back out to Peter Duggan. What a brilliant occasion for a Clooney Quin point of view. This would be just before half time if he could dispatch it. Just got a small bit distracted there because there's a little bit of off the ball stuff going on, but Niall Quinn is inside in the middle of it. Now, I'm not saying that Niall is causing it or anything like that, but he's trying his best to police it.
He's a brave linesman to go into the middle of those men.
Just a little bit of jostling going on there as they try to maybe put Peter Duggan off. That little bit of gamesmanship that we often see, but I'd say it'll take a little bit more than that. Peter Duggan just asking, is everybody where they should be, Niall? And he says they are. Off you go with the penalty, Peter. He picks it, he strikes it, and he puts it in the bottom corner. That is simplicity in its purest form from Peter Duggan. He just stepped up to that ball. No big run up, just that one step striking into the bottom left hand corner. Just hopped in front of the keeper, giving him no chance. A massive score. 3-6 Clooney Quin. That's 15 points, 8 points for Cratloe. The referee has blown the half-time whistle, and when Clooney Quin re-emerge, they'll have a gale at their back. This is just an incredible performance.
Yeah, again, Gale at their back, a 7 point lead by my calculations. And Peter Duggan, he was quiet for about 10 or 12 minutes. Dermot Ryan had got the better of him, had done a good job since he went in him. And then one big delivery, up went the Love. Come out of my way, he said to Dermot Ryan, shouldered him out of the way. Dermot Ryan tried to pull him down, and as he was falling, he still drew a boot at the sliotar, drifted just wide, but the penalty was awarded, and up he stepped, flicked it up into the air, one touch, bottom corner, unstoppable shot. Huge lead for Clooney Quin with a Gale to come. Cratloe have it all to do, Derek.
Yeah, and again, we often talk about body language of teams going in off the field at half time, and if that's anything to go by, you can even put another couple of points onto the Clooney Quin total, because they absolutely sprinted to the dressing room, whereas the Cratloe players tended to just maybe trudge off a little bit. So the heads are down, there's no doubt about it. The brains trust here underneath us of the Collins brothers having a little chat. David and Podge, as we said, both ruled out through injury today what they'd give to have them two boys back, but they're not here at the minute. It's half time. Clooney Quin 3-6. It's Cratloe 8 points. Much more chat to come. Do join us very shortly.
Half time.
Going right through the centre, shortens up the grip, sticks the ball over the bar. Half a mistake from Dermot Ryan's point of view. Ball didn't go to hand to Inda Boyce. In came Jack O'Neill. First point of the afternoon. Clooney Quin 1, Cratloe no score. 90 seconds played.
Yeah, and it was interesting to see when Peter Duggan took his effort, how much it held up in the wind. That'll show you the strength of the wind. And again, Cratloe, they stick to their pattern of play. Dermot Ryan an opportunity to launch that ball. They've Sean Gallagher placed in full forward. He's about 6'5", 6'6". That ball should have gone long, but they opted to work it through the lines, popped it along the ground, intercepted by O'Neill. He sauntered through the middle, and he was never going to miss. Fine score and a fine start from Clooney Quin against what is really picking up as a strong breeze, Derek.
Dermot Ryan goes over and picks that ball. Looks like he's got something of a free roll. Now, he launched that ball from just inside his own 20-metre line from where I'm looking, and it has actually gone away out to the left-hand side and wide. So if we needed an indicator of that wind, we know Dermot can bang them from a long way out, but God, that went to 100 yards.
Yeah,
In that half-back line as we spoke, and the lead up, and ironically enough, that was kind of a move that you'd nearly do with the wind. A long Ryan to come out and take control, but out here to Dermot Ryan, hops the ball along the ground, looking for Inda Boyce. It goes by him, and on comes Jack O'Neill to it now, puts on the burners, going right through the centre, shortens up the grip, sticks the ball over the bar. Half a mistake from Dermot Ryan's point of view. Ball didn't go to hand to Inda Boyce. In came Jack O'Neill. First point of the afternoon. Clooney Quin 1, Cratloe no score. 90 seconds played.
Yeah, and it was interesting to see when Peter Duggan took his effort, how much it held up in the wind. That'll show you the strength of the wind. And again, Cratloe, they stick to their pattern.
In that half-back line as we spoke, and the lead up, and ironically enough, that was kind of a move that Anniversary celebrations taking place next weekend. True Clonlara putting down a marker with a 220-16 win over Clooney Quin, and Aina Kilnamona and Scariff Gunlow, nothing between the sides. Aina Kilnamona 115, Scariff Gunlow 212.
Yeah, and I think now myself that's a rehearsal for the county final, as they're in both, they're in the same group. I think True Clonlara have been in the last two county finals, as we know, but I just think the loss of Emer Kelly and Becky Foley, Michelle Powell to long-term injuries, they will come out of their group. The groups are kind of a bit lopsided. There's an open draw for the Camogie Championship, the way it works, and yeah, Truick will definitely come out of the group. Kilmaley look positioned. There'll be a big battle between Kilmaley and Fecal Killanena for that second spot. There is no doubt that Scariff and Aina Kilnamona will come out of Group 1, and they'll avoid each other in the semi-final. And last night, to me, is a rehearsal for the county final. There's never much between them. They've been the two most successful clubs in the last few years in Clare Camogie. But and just a quick word on Clarecastle Ballyea. Their first day out, they took a bit of a trimming from Fecal Killanena. Much improved performance. They're learning their trade at senior level, and the big game for them will be Clooney Quin versus Clarecastle Ballyea. That'll decide who stays away from the relegation decider in that group. So yeah, look, it's great to have the Camogie there, the club championships. We saw what Camogie meant to the people of Clare with the recent All Ireland success. So long may it continue, and all things positive.
Just another updated score for you in the Intermediate Hurling Championship. Adoik with a big win over Killanena, 219 to 6 points, the full-time score there. So we'll wrap up a couple of more of those games later on as we go. Let's just have a quick look ahead to tomorrow, Derek. Obviously, there's two very, very big games in two different venues, in two different groups, or in the same group, I should say, but two venues because they're not having to be played simultaneously. We'll start off Aina Kilnamona and Kilmaley in Cusack Park. I think it's a 1:30 start. I'd say the crowds will be gathering there from maybe even overnight. That's a really, really highly anticipated game. Aina Kilnamona needing to respond. Kilmaley probably saying, look, we can bury the neighbours, put them out of the championship and have one less danger to worry about.
Yeah, it's going to be a great occasion. You can't beat the derbies. The near neighbour, the rivalry. They'll know each other so well. It'll take a life of its own. All derbies do. But for me, I was talking to a good hurling man last night, and he said, surely there's a game in Aina Kilnamona. Surely there's a performance. Surely your neighbours will bring it out of you. And I just said to him, Kilmaley are the form team of the championship themselves in Clonlara, and Clonlara showed it again last night. That form, is a true guide. I think Kilmaley are on a mission this year under Brian Colbert. I think they'll take some stopping, and I think in Cusack Park that's where they really, really do well, because they have legs. You need legs to win in the park. You need pace. And I think the teams that do well in the park are the ones that have those, that injection of youth and pace, and Kilmaley certainly have that. There won't be much in it because it is a derby. It will take a life of its own, but I'd imagine Kilmaley will have enough, on form anyway, to get the job done. And then for Aina Kilnamona, it'll be a winner-take-all showdown with Dora Bearfield, and who would have predicted that, a couple of weeks before the championship? Aina Kilnamona were second favourites in Paddy Power for the county title, and now, they're one game away from a relegation series. So it's been a massive turnaround, a massive dip in form for them, and uncharacteristic performances.
Is there any fear of the break being an issue for Kilmaley? It's been a while since that St. Joseph's game. I know Aina Kilnamona have had unsuccessful games in between, so how much use are they to you either? But, Kilmaley probably will take 5 or 10 minutes to get up to pace, will they?
Yeah, they probably will, but a break can be good too. They had that big win over Ballyea, and they were straight back into the action then with Bearfield, and they put up 24 points that day. That's it wasn't goals, it was 24 white flags, and if you're landing that in club games, Derek, you're going to be in every single match right down to the championship minutes. They have forwards who can score from play. They have accomplished place ball takers as well. And they've always been able to hurl in Kilmaley. They've always had nice stick work. Just over the last couple of years, it's always been too short for me, too short-paced possession game. Culbert's changed that up since he went in. He's bringing a bit of the old direct style from 6 Mile Bridge with him, and it seems to be working at the moment. And again, I'll just say Kilmaley and Clonlara are the two form teams of the championship at the moment, as are Scariff, by the way.
Yeah, certainly are, and that leads us in nicely to our second game tomorrow. That's our live game here on Clare FM out in Dr. Daly Park, Ballyea and Scariff. And just looking through the team list, I think it's very notable. We know that Tony Kelly wasn't going to be playing. But I think when you look at the team and you don't see his name, it kind of makes it, I think there's a different bite in it then.
There is, and if you're in the Scariff dressing room, you know you've heard that he's not going to be playing, but just there's always things you're kind of going, yeah, okay, like maybe he will, maybe he'll go out in one leg. I mean, look, I was at the game the last day against Dora Bearfield, and Tony was like injured starting the match. Like I have to be honest about it. At one stage, I seen Kevin Shee and I heard him say, "Tony, come out to the," they were under pressure, "Come out to the 40." And Tony's response, and I've never heard Tony Kelly say these words, "I can't." Like he just couldn't. He still got 1-2 inside and full forward in that opening half. He swiveled and turned on a sixpence and rifled it in from 20 yards. He had that ability, but he couldn't move. The leg was that injured, and he's a huge loss to Ballier. Their 3-in-a-row bid is on the line tomorrow. They lose in Tulla. They are out of the championship, barring a whole cacophony of results to go their way. But Scariff will be eyeing it up. Scariff love Tulla. Scariff have potent forwards. Rogers, Crotty, Patrick Ryan. They know how to go for goals. They do go for the juggler. It's going to be a huge game.
So too, a big second half here, and Cratloe have gone to the bench. They brought in Cathal Lohan in place of Sean Gallagher, so that means another bit of a shuffle around for their particular setup. But at the minute, play has resumed. Bog gone out over the line here. Has it yet? No, they're still scrapping away for it now. Niall Malone has spotted there was a little bit of a pullback. It's going to be a free for Cratloe. Let's watch Cathal Lohan just reversing into more of a forward role now, and the ball is coming down in his direction. Kills the ball in front of him, down to the ground it goes, almost won, and it's Cathal coming away with it, being challenged there by John Kennedy. Gets the hand pass away. Hand pass in inverted commas though, because Niall Malone says, "You threw that ball, young man." That's going to be a free for Clooney Quin. And once again, just a little bit of after is occurring, shall we say. Niall Malone, fine and cool, just having a look at it.
I think he's in trouble here, Derek.
So I
think Luke Healy's in trouble. I think if the linesman has seen what I saw, I think he's in trouble. It was an off the ball blow to the side of the head, and I think it could be a red card here.
They're asking Joe Mullins for his opinion. Niall Malone, fine and cool about it, and won't get excited anymore. Niall, I think that's what makes him on the top officials, but it was an off the ball challenge on Dara Keogh. He's being looked after there, having a chat with Joe here as to what happened, and I would tend to agree with Derek. I just kind of caught it myself out of the corner of my eye as to what might have happened, so let's just wait and see. Conor McGrath is hanging on. Peter Duggan's trotting out as well to make sure that it was all caught. He's going back. He'll be taking the free, of course, as well, and let's just see. I think Niall Malone, is he happy enough to let it go? He certainly is. So look at that's small bit of a let-off. I think he's having a chat with Derek Keogh as well, and the free is going to be taken for Quin.
It's a huge let-off, Derek, because he swung.
Well, look, we won't go into too much detail on it, but let's just say that it was a bit of a let-off from a Cratloe point of view. So Luke Healy now certainly on eggshells, you'd have to say. Peter Duggan, though, on the ball on the 65-metre line. He's going to take this free on his own 65-metre line. That is that breeze behind him. So if you're one of them cars that are parked outside the wall, I'd say your windscreen might be in danger with this one if the net don't catch it. Here comes Peter with the free, 3-6 to 8 points, 32 minutes on the clock. The ball is high in towards the post, and from where I'm looking, there's just a late tail on that one as it goes to the left and wide, hits the grass bank behind the goal, and sends young lads scattered after it to try and pick it up and maybe stick it in their pocket before anyone realises it. Puck out for Garrod Ryan. Cratloe needing to get moving now. Conor McGrath, the man that'll try and get it, but a lovely stick put in there by Donogh O'Sullivan. Conor read the break brilliantly though, picks that ball up and tries to power through. Cahill comes out to meet him, just loses his footing, gets the call inside. Great run from Rian McNamara. This would be a big score for Cratloe to start off the second half, but it goes again out to the left hand side and wide. Application much better, finish just needs to improve.
Yeah, Cratloe started with purpose. I did kind of think they'd be better against the wind, that it's more accustomed to them, but it'll be interesting to see how Clooney Quin approach their how they decide to play with the wind, whether they'll go direct and long to Peter Duggan or whether they'll shoot from distance. That'll have a huge bearing on it, but Clooney Quin will be happy at the moment. There's nothing really happening. Players are picking up different players from the start of the second half, and look, Clooney Quin will be happy at the moment anyway, Derek. They have that big lead and they have this big win, so it's all up to Cratloe to keep their championship hopes alive.
And just people would wonder about forwards fouling a defender coming out, but I think great work done by Peter Duggan, because it kills the counter-attack element. Give away the free, and there's maybe 20 or 30 seconds wasted in the set-up of it as well, so don't ever give up on that ball. I think if you're a forward back there, never let a defender stand and strike it. That's certainly the message you'll be trying to give as we watch Luke Luke Healy on the far side of the field. This time being pulled back, it's going to be a free in for Cratloe. It'll be Rian Considine to take it. 3-6 is 15 points. It's 8 for Cratloe, a 7-point differential. 3.5 minutes gone second half. Tommy Corbett Financial Solutions out in Rosslevin are our commentary sponsors. Chat going on here between the Clooney Quin physio and our linesman as well, and I think he might be just wondering what he was looking at when that particular challenge occurred. But here comes Rian Considine with the free. It'll have to be neat and tidy, and it certainly is. Puts the umpire running for the white flag. It's another point for Rian Considine, but it's another place ball from a Cratloe perspective. They're going to have to start adding to it from play. Puck out into the hand of Jack O'Neill, but it's taken out of him this time. Great work by Shane Neville just to put the pressure on. Concedes the line ball on the far side of the pitch. But important now, you'd say, in this quarter, Derek, from a Cratloe perspective, if you get it back to within touching distance and then really ask the questions of Cratloe's more inexperienced players.
Yeah, that's what Cratloe have to do. They can't let Clooney Quin get out of sight here, especially with that win. Cratloe just have to tip away for the first 15 minutes, try and get a couple of scores, work the ball through the lines against the wind, and that's what they're good at. Draw a few frees, as they have done with Rian Considine. He seems on top form. I think that's his 5th or 6th place ball. So, Cratloe just have to stay patient, stay in the game, and, if you're still in touch with 10 minutes to go, I call them the championship minutes. See where you're at then.
Long ball directed once again now towards that Cratloe full forward line. Good to see them putting it into the mixer, into that danger zone, but it's the well-versed Shane McNamara outside there, just whipping it away from the danger zone, tidying it up, going back to his goalkeeper Cathal Hannon, who just needs to swing this one away, and he does. Drops it down past the 65-metre line on this near side of the pitch. Up they go, battling for it. Rian McNamara inside, trying to come onto it. So too is Harrison, just trying to bend his back and gets that ball up. Does well. Back around here towards Jimmy Curry. Brilliant goal for him in that first half. In towards Peter Duggan. He's got 2. Lovely little touch away there, but in behind him was the tidy Inda Boyce. Brings that ball away, but the pressure comes on now. Back to Liam Markham. Little triangle develops, and it's Diarmuid Ryan at the top of it and sends a brilliant ball down the line. Once again, Cratloe just trying to build here. Long ball in there from Lohan into the corner. Good attacking play, it must be said, from a Cratloe point of view. Just holding on to it. Was that a foul? It certainly was. Great work from Rian Considine over there. Conor Grogan it was Cathal Mack, I should say. Green will go over to take the free. Both of them wearing green helmets, both of them with a similar kind of a gimp when they go for the ball, but certainly it was the captain showing the leadership there, although in fairness to Conor Grogan, sticking to him, but just lost his footing, fell down his back. It was a free, and Rian with a chance now to put 5 between the sides.
Yeah, and Cratloe will be delighted with that. And what's interesting is Cratloe have dropped Enda Boyce right back in front of Peter Duggan, so Diarmuid Ryan's gone marking him, Enda Boyce is in front of him, and they've decided to cut off as best they can the supply to Peter Duggan. And if it does take it down to himself, he's not going to have just Diarmuid Ryan, he's going to have Enda Boyce to deal with. It's worked so far for Cratloe. They've 2 place balls. Rian Considine's after tapping that one over, and they've reduced the rears, Terry.
Off goes Keneally in one of those trademark runs through the centre, but this time the ball is a little bit misdirected, and it's once again Lohan that tidies it up, plays it off outside. A shot from distance dropping right in towards the post, but it's going away out to the right hand side and wide. That time once again it was Luke Healy on the end of that particular move, but the ball caught up in the breeze, went out to the right and wide. 36-50 is what the clock says. 3-6 to 10 points. That's what the scoreboard says as we watch the ball going once again down towards Peter Duggan. He'll always fight on his back to get that ball up inside the middle of the ruck. You'd nearly back him to come away with it. He does, gets it out here to Dannon Fox, who quick as a flash puts that ball straight over the bar. Peter Duggan has gone down on his hands and knees, brave as a lion going in for that ball. I'd say he just took a kind of a loose hurley inside. I don't think there was major malice in it.
No, but there was about 7 Cratloe players around him, and yet he got the pop out to Dannon Fox, and that's Dannon's first attempt at a point. Landed it over the bar. Crucial score for Clooney Quin, just to halt the Cratloe momentum, because in fairness to Cratloe, they have suffocated that space in front of Peter. He did remarkably well there to get it, to bring the ball down, and then with all of those players around him to find a teammate who slotted it over. Good score from Dannon Fox.
Clooney Quin going to the bench. Looks like Udick O'Sullivan is going to make his entrance. We'll wait and see who's coming off. There's no board in operation here on the sideline in 6 Mile Bridge this afternoon, so we'll just watch trotting across. So in goes Udick O'Sullivan, and if I'm not mistaken, there's one of the boys that came in to start. Might be Ronan O'Donnell, I think, that could be coming off. We'll just pick up the number here underneath us. Yeah, it certainly is Ronan O'Donnell making his way off. Puck out is taken fast out to the far side of the field. Cratloe looking just Peter Duggan once again going off to close off the quick angle, but it's a lovely angle ball across here, and lovely touch from Jack McInerney to take that ball down. Gives it back to Daithí Collins. Just couldn't take it at the first time of asking, and the trouble comes when the ball goes to the ground. The ruck once again develops outside there. It's Jack O'Neill trying to get it up. Conor McGrath, though, clever as you like, steals that ball away and picks off a gorgeous score. Conor McGrath, using all his experience, didn't get involved in the ruck, just stood back, ball popped into his hand, and when he's 35-40 metres out from the post, there's usually only one outcome to that. 3-7-11, it's Clooney Quin leading.
Yeah, 3 points to 1 now since the start of the second half. 2 place balls from Rian Considine, and that lovely score from Conor McGrath. And as you said, cuteness personified, stayed out of the ruck. Once the ball popped, took it into his hand, split the post straight away from 35 yards. He was never going to miss. It's a positive start to the second half for Cratloe. They're far more competitive, and again they've stolen the ball and won a free, Derek, so it's an opportunity here.
Luke Healy has the advantage. The hand is still up from Niall Malone. He's still going through. How long would it last? Now it has ended because he didn't get the ball away quickly enough, and this time Clooney Quin survived. It was John Kennedy going back. You'd see often referees bringing that back, but the time was up. He could have used the ball and he didn't. So long again towards Peter Duggan, down on top. Dermot Ryan this time breaking it down. The two lads go off, and Dermot has a right test of Peter's shorts there, I thought. Niall Malone though doesn't agree. It's still Peter with the ball going through. It's Dermot Ryan with him slashing it around there, and it's getting fairly physical now between the two boys, it must be said. Jack O'Neill going in, trying to pick up that break. Peter sweeps around on the outside. Someone hits the deck. Niall Malone is having a right look at it. The ball is very, very close to the sideline here, down in front of us, the top of the left position now. It's switched all the way across. A chance for Clooney Quin to get another one on the board, but it's broken down now. It's Dannon Fox coming onto it, shortens the grip and fires it home. Brilliant from Dannon Fox, but once again an absolute lesson in persistence from a Clooney Quin point of view. The ball could have easily been lost here to the Cratloe defence in that top of the left position. They kept the pressure on. Clever ball across the 21 to open up the space. On comes Dannon Fox with a brilliantly incisive run and fires it to the back of the net. 4-7 Clooney Quin, 11 points Cratloe, 40 on the clock.
Yeah, and huge hammer blow for Cratloe. And I just have to go back to Niall Malone's officiating, Derek. Most referees, they've this ridiculous thing about they put the hand up for advantage. Luke Healy got plenty of advantage. He sauntered through for 25, another 30 yards he went with the ball in his stick. A goal chance appeared. He dropped possession of the sliotar. Most referees bring it back for the free. In fairness to Niall Malone, he didn't. Clooney Quin sweep the ball in one movement down on top of Peter Duggan. Himself and Dermot Ryan have a huge battle. Cratloe seemed to have the possession, but Clooney Quin were not to be denied. They swarmed in packs, hunted, won the ball back inside the 21. Lovely diagonal ball across. It broke then to Dannon Fox, and once it broke onto his stick, there was only going to be one thing, was the back of the net, and by God did he finish it well. Huge hammer blow for Cratloe. A massive goal for Clooney Quin.
Now it's all about how Cratloe respond. There's a little bit of verbals going on between a few lads over on the far side there with the referee as well, but going through, Cathal McInerney trying to respond on the field, but Derek Keogh with an outstanding take and brilliant work from Evan Maxted in to get it out clear, driving it down the field once again, really tidy defending, but it's Shane Harrison that has it, and he's gone by Reid McNamara on that occasion. He's still going, has his strike at the post and puts it over the bar. That's an outstanding score from Shane Harrison. Put daylight and grass between himself and Reid McNamara. Then he had the chance just to steady down, look at the post and send the ball straight over. It's 4-8 Clooney Quin, it's Cratloe 11. There's 9 between the sides as Conor Ryan has made his return to action. He's listed as number 25, but that doesn't look like Conor Ryan to me, so we'll have to have a quick check on that one. Conor is certainly down there, saw him poking around at half time, and that is not him, so we'll pick up on that very shortly. But going back to the score, another really tidy finish from a Clooney Quin point of view.
Oh, fantastic. And again, you can't beat legs. Shane Harrison, as soon as he got it, just injection of pace, and he left his marker for dead, who drew a swipe at him, took Niall Malone's after giving a yellow card for it after the fact. But again, great score from Clooney Quin, and they're showing what they're really made of here today, Derek. Their performance was flat against the market. The market were dogged the same day, and credit to the market on that day. But Clooney Quin, who are just a common force, and they're really demonstrating their ability here today.
Jack O'Neill, once again, his hand is electric here today as he lets that ball long in towards Peter Duggan, battling away there with Dermot Ryan. I think Dermot has 2 hurleys. He kind of only needs one, really, and in fairness, he has given Peter back his one. They'll continue their battle inside. It'll be honest between the two boys, no doubt about it. Good refereeing once again from Niall Malone. Spotted a tug back there on Rian Considine. It was Evan Maxted, I think, was the guilty party, so he's going to have a little chat with him, and we'll just wait and see what the outcome of this will be. But
you have to compliment Niall Malone. He's a top official.
I think he's the best we have in the county, and certainly one of the best in the province. Yellow card for Evan Maxted, free for Rian Considine. 4-8 Clooney Quin, 11 points points for Cratloe, 43 on the clock. Let's see, is he thinking about going for it? He's placing it down in front of him. No, I'd say by that stance, he's just going to pop it over the bar. But let's come back here, Derek, to Jack O'Neill's hand once again. He was outnumbered there, 2-1, gets out in front, gets up the hand and launches it long.
Yeah, he's having a great game, in fairness to him. He's winning his own ball. And again, players that win the primary possession, you don't need to be just giving them the ball. They can win the dirty ball. They're the hurlers you want in the field. They're the hurlers that are going to make a difference. They're the hurlers you want in the heat of championship battle.
Now the puck out has gone wrong, and Cratloe putting the squeeze on there around the 45-metre line, just forcing the ruck to develop. Again, Conor McGrath just around the outside of it. But that's brilliant work outside there once again from Shane McNamara. He's been absolutely solid as a rock inside in that Clooney Quin defence. We're just passing or heading towards the 3-quarter mark. It's Clooney Quin 4-8. It's Cratloe 12 points. Exactly 44 minutes on the clock. Kerry Corbett Financial Solutions, our commentary sponsors. We'll have our Patrick Burke menswear man of the match too. You can be thinking about that there for the next couple of minutes, Derek, towards the closing stages. And again, Cratloe going to the bench. They're bringing in Damien Brown, if I'm not mistaken, and it's Rian McNamara who's coming off. So a change around that middle third for Cratloe, who now are starting to get towards kitchen sink territory, really, aren't they?
Yeah, and look, you have to compliment both Donagh Sullivan and Jimmy Corrie. They mightn't be, getting, the airtime, we'll say, and the commentary, but they're dominating that midfield sector, both from the Cratloe half back line to the Clooney Quin half back line. That middle third, Jimmy Corrie and Donagh Sullivan, but especially Jimmy Corrie, they're so dominant. They're cutting out space. They're onto every breaking ball, and they're ruling the roost and providing the platform for this Clooney Quin performance.
And Harrison is off like a hare once again, but this time the half a hook came in, and the shot, when he shortened up the grip, just goes to the left hand side and wide. But again, Clooney Quin, I think, just looking that little bit sharper at the moment. They're coming on to more breaking ball, and certainly making Cratloe work for everything. And again, Shane Neville now will have it in the middle of the park, just on his own 65-metre line, turning inside, just trying to assess the options ahead. But that covering defender is there, and John Keneally. But this time though, the ball just comes out from him, and it's great work from Rian Considine to get it back to field. Shot coming in from distance, it's going to drop inside right into the danger zone. Cathal McInerney, was he fouled there? Referee says no. Cratloe protest. Keneally though, cool as a bit of ice, goes back and picks up that ball, plays it into the centre to McNamara, stands and delivers and goes long to Duggan. Once again up goes to Hurley, the ball breaks in behind him. Covering is in the Boyce. Would you believe there's about 4 Cratloe men converge on Peter Duggan when he goes up. Boyce, Markham, Dermot Ryan, they're all back there trying to cover this man, but he's just picked up a little bit of a knock. Just watched him here at the moment. Play continues though. It's Jack O'Neill on the sideline. That ball goes across. Shane Harrison just recovering after that lung busting run a while ago. Sean Collins now has the ball on the far side of the field. Really needs to get Cratloe moving. Great hand pass across to Shane Neville, providing the run off the shoulder, standing to strike off his left from the sideline. This would be a brilliant score if he can land it, but it doesn't. It just held up in the wind and goes to the right and wide.
He shouldn't be shooting from there, Derek. In fairness, he got a lovely pop pass. He'd space in front of himself. He should have carried it. Cratloe need a goal. A white flag is not going to give him momentum. It was a difficult shot. That ball should have been dropped in at the edge of the square, or he should have carried it and waited to pop it off to a runner.
Again, the puck out goes out. Damien Brown's first involvement. He's had plenty of it down the years for Cratloe. Brilliant take from him in the air, and he was fouled as he did. Takes the free quickly, trying to give him that little bit of an impetus that they need, and so too is their captain. And now it's Rian Considine that's coming onto the ball, being met there by Maxted, stepping inside, trying to make the angle. Gets the call behind him from Daithí Collins, but wasn't the cleanest of balls. Forces Daithí to run about 25 yards behind him, and he's going to start getting outnumbered now. But Cratloe have enough bodies there to turn it over with Cayman Deegan, all the way up from cornerback, being met there with a challenge by John Cahill. Trying to get that ball away, still he goes, kicking it clear. We know Cratloe, of course, the mighty jewel club of the last decade or so. Deegan trying to pick that ball up on the ground. Niall Malone says off you go, and it's Shane McNamara coming away with it. Just gets a little bit outnumbered, tried to get his hand pass away. It only went to the ground, and it's Cratloe that pick it up, trying to come away with that ball. Referee has spotted a little bit of over carrying. It's going to be a free for Clooney Quin. They'll leave Peter Duggan where he is. It's on their own 65-metre line as the sun returns, and it's shining down on top of the heads of Barry Corbett and Tommy Corbett down there, who must be very pleased. Eric, 12 and a half minutes left to go. Their side lead by 8 points.
Yeah, and full value for it, Derek. Look, it's their work rate again around this middle third. Keneally, Jimmy Corrie, Donagh Sullivan, Derek Keogh. They're just hunting in packs. They're here today to make a statement, because they wouldn't have been happy with the performance the last day. But by God, everyone involved with Clooney Quin, supporters, spectators, management team, coaching staff, you can't but be proud of this performance. They've been totally dominant for 48 minutes. And let's be honest about it, they're full value for this 8-point lead. Peter Duggan has sauntered all the way out. He's took his time. Again, that's a sign of clever game management. We didn't think he was going to take the free. And then, slow walk out, killing the clock, lands this over. He'll put 9 between them.
Yeah, there's about a minute gone there before we realised it at all. And I've no doubt Niall Malone will probably account for a little bit of that when he's totting up his injury time. That'll come in around 10 minutes or thereabouts as Peter Duggan takes this free, and 'twas worth the journey as he sticks that ball straight over the bar. The All-Star from 2018 putting that ball straight between the posts for Clooney Quin, stretching out that lead now 4-9 to 12 points. And unless Cratloe get a goal in the next couple of minutes, there's a kind of an inevitable feeling starting to develop around this one. Long ball, and up goes John Keneally. That's an outstanding take by the young man, number 6, and he wins his free. What a leader this guy is inside in that half-back line. He has been immense.
That was incredible. I mean, he plucked that from the heavens with a whole host of Cratloe players around him. Hurley's flailing in the air. It was like jumping in a forest of ash. Down he came, won the free, and that's inspirational stuff. And look, for Mowden from the Cratloe fellas, again, like their heads aren't right. Move the ball out 20 yards, making an easier chance for Peter Duggan. And, Clooney Quin, I hate to say it with 11 minutes to go in a championship match, but they can start thinking about the quarter-final based on this performance so far, Derek.
Mikey Curry is going to make his entrance now very shortly indeed. There'll be a few happy heads around about that one as we watch Peter Duggan with this free between the two 65-metre lines. It's straight and true and right over the bar once again for Peter Duggan. You just cannot give him those kind of opportunities. In comes Mikey Curry. We'll have a watch just to see who's going to make way. He's heading to the far side. Fox, he's heading to the far side of the field. Looks like he's calling Dannon, who had his hurley up to try and block down the puck out. No need now because he can come out and take a well-deserved rest after his 1-1 contribution in this second half for the men from Clooney Quin. So savage stuff from Dannon Fox, it must be said. Puck out for Garrod Ryan. Joe Mullins just making sure that it will only be 15 on 15 when this puck out is taken. Garrod Ryan has it inside in the goal. Everybody with their hands up to their eyes now, just blocking off this late evening sun. It's 34 minutes past 5 or whatever it is, 26 minutes to 6, whatever way you want to break it all down. But Clooney Quin leading on a scoreline of 4-10 to Cratloe's 12 points with 50 minutes on the clock. And Niall Malone, I think, just again pointing out something here, making sure everybody, and I think he's just making sure there's nobody illegally on the field. Joe Mullins, I think, is a small bit confused. Is he making sure that everybody went off? They're just communicating there through the wireless system at the moment. Small bit confusing, I must say.
Yeah, I have no idea. I think Joe Mullins thought there might have been 16 on is my own explanation, and then he's after apologising to Niall Malone there and saying, right, get on with the puck out. So we'll just move forward with that one anyway.
Yep, Shane Neville is the man Sean Collins is the man that takes it short on this near side of the pitch, breaks up along the line, carries it, now he puts it back in the hurley, he can't catch it again, has to go to hand pass, just about got it over Peter Duggan's head, but even that,
that's a sign of everything.
Isn't it? It's just tiredness as much as anything. They had the ball free inside his own 21-metre line, burst up the field, and just a loose old hand pass out over the end line. And just watching there, I think that actually is Conor Ryan that has come on wearing the number 25 jersey, just as he comes out closer to us. So fantastic to see him back after the man that had to step away from sport because of those health issues he had. He was in Boston the last couple of years. Mighty to see him home.
Absolutely.
All-Ireland winner, of course, in 13. Man of the match in the drawn game against Cork as well. And now on the field with his brother Diarmuid, which must be very, very special indeed. Not just for him, but for the entire family and club as well. So welcome back, Conor Ryan. Mighty to see you. It's Clooney Quin, though, trying to hold out now at the moment as the ball is around the 21-metre line. Conor McGrath going back, picking up that ball, and who's chasing him? Only Peter Duggan. Not only is he scoring, but he's working, he's hassling, he's harrying, but Cratloe do well to work it out through the lines, out to the hands to Cayman Deegan. He looks up to the far side of the field. That's Cathal McInerney outside there. He's been withdrawn to try and maybe get on a little bit more ball, just try and inject that little bit of pace, and still he goes. The Limerick-based teacher, and it goes to Dahi Collins, slips it back to Cathal Mac once again. He's going through. Surely that's going to be a penalty. It certainly is coming back for a free on the 21. The initial foul was there. Niall Malone saying that, yeah, that's where you were when you were pulled. It's going to be a free, but it may as well be a penalty because they're going to have to go from it. But fantastic leadership from Cathal McInerney. I said it before in a football sense, form is permanent and class is permanent with this fella. He's just outstanding every day.
Yeah, and that's more like the Cratloe that we've seen over the years. They worked the ball, or Conor McGrath back here working, pop it across through the centre, and then it was runner after runner after runner. And Colin McInerney got
it. Free. It's going to be taken by Reen Considine, and it's blocked inside in the line. Right off the line it was taken, and it's headed out to the far corner, and it's Corey going across there to take that ball. It's going to be a free out for Clooney Quin. Just nothing going Cratloe's way here this afternoon. 53 minutes on the clock. It's still Clooney Quin leading on a scoreline of 4-10 to 12 points, as everything now just gets a little bit scrappy.
Yeah, look, there's an air of inevitability about it now, but credit to Cratloe there. They did create that goal chances by working it through the lines, by doing what they're best at, which is popping it to runners, and Colin McInerney did so well. But it was a clever free from Clooney Quin to give away, like they were, it was outside of the penalty zone, we call it, just got a little, tug on him, just enough to give the free. And Clooney Quin are again gone down here now, and no doubt they'll take each time with every little injury, every little tie or shoelace, sup of water. It's just game management, and if you're a Clooney Quin supporter, you'll be delighted with it. If you're Cratloe, you'll be saying, come on, get up, get on with it. We need a couple of green flags, and we need them fast.
Yeah, don't forget at 6:30 there's a double header underway. We'll be giving you details of those later on. Full-time match reports to be given later on air this evening. Airog versus Clarecastle in the park, and Fecal and Broadford here as well in O'Garney Park. That group to be decided, and now that we know those new parameters, hopefully we'll be a little bit clearer in the finish up of it. But you're kind of nodding there ironically, Derek. You're not sure.
Yeah, I still not sure, but if I was Airog, I'd be worried, because if Broadford win and Airog, I've no doubt Airog, and I hate saying it, but they'll be too strong for Clarecastle. But if Broadford win, Airog are out of the championship. I mean, it's incredible stuff. You think that the county finalists from last year could be out, and tomorrow the county champions could be out. It just shows how open this Clare championship is. There's a monster point.
Huge score on the far side of the field by Jimmy Curry, I think was the man that notched that one right from out under the Tom Morey Memorial stand. So 4-11 to 12 points as the clouds start to darken. Remember, the Cratloe parish comes in here to 6 Mile Bridge to the little church. Is that maybe a sign? The weather perhaps reflecting the mood at the moment as Conor McGrath forces a line ball here on this near side of the pitch. They're going to need something. All the candles in the little church want to be lit now at this stage if they're going to pull something out of it. 4-11 Clooney Quin, 12 points Cratloe. Back it comes here to Colin McInerney once again, trying to work it down into the corner. Goes out over the line, and as you said, this will all be suiting Clooney Quin now. They won't mind the pace the game is played at. It's Cratloe now need to force it a little bit.
Yeah, this is perfect for Clooney Quin. All it's doing is killing the clock. 4.5 minutes to go. You're winning by I don't know, it's 23 to 12. You're winning by 11 points. So I mean, it's job done really for Clooney Quin, and they can start thinking about their quarter-final opponents or whenever the draw is going to be made.
Cathal McInerney has picked off a lovely score there on the swivel. It was Cathal Lohan initially with the shot that was blocked down on the 21 metre line. Just an air of desperation now about it. Jimmy Gary, I think, just limping here now once again outside in the middle of the park from a Clooney Quin point of view. So everybody just retreating for the puck out from Hannon inside the goal, out towards Jack O'Neill. Up goes to Hurley to try and break it down. He's well marshalled on this occasion though by Neville, coming in just trying to pick up that ball. Across he comes to the centre. Referee spotted over carrying, is it? He's given the free the other way. So absolutely nothing going Cratloe's way so far, but that all created once again by probably I would imagine the more youthful, exuberant legs that Jack O'Neill had.
Yeah, you can't beat youth. I keep saying it, Derek, and I'm telling you, this Clooney Quin team will take some beating when they get into Cusick Park. It's going to suit them down to the ground, the wide open spaces, and they've been improving all year long. I think the Newmarket game was a blip here in O'Garney Park a couple of weeks ago. Look, they were my dark horses for the championship, and I do think it'll take some team to stop them, because look, they're a potent force of experience, youth, pace, and power. And you've got one of the country's best forwards in Peter Duggan. You can't legislate for what that man can do.
Let's see, can he add another point to his tally? We'll be talking Patrick Burke-Menswear, man of the match, very, very shortly. And I have a funny feeling that the Clooney Quin number 11 could be high in that particular conversation, as Luke Harrison is now going to make his way onto the team. Another point for Peter Duggan, 4-11 now for Clooney Quin. That's a fine total to Cratloe's 14 points. 3 minutes to go, so we'll name that man of the match now very shortly, as Jimmy Curry makes way. Brilliant goal for him in the first half, and 2 points from play to go along with it. He had just had a little bit of treatment on that right thigh before the game. Obviously now that has just worn off, so he'll get a well-deserved break, as once again Peter Duggan chases and harries and hounds when that puck out is trying to be taken short, and it was, but it's swept down the field here now for Cratloe. Dermot Ryan moved up into a more advanced position, standing on the sideline, looking at the goalpost. The ball is hanging, dropping right in around the danger zone. Conor McGrath goes in after it. It is broken out to the side. Evan Maxted is with him there right on the end line, and just trying to get the bodies coming there as the ball is swept inside to Rian Considine now, just trying to make the angle, but a brilliant hook put in him by Derek Hugh. Ball goes back to the ground again. He's going to have to get the help from Conor Ryan, just forces it forward, but back goes John Keneally, solid as a rock and safe as a house as he drives this ball down this near sideline, trying to battle away with it. There is Damien Brown. It's picked up though by Jack O'Neill. The tackle comes in there from Dahi Collins, goes out over the line. It'll be a line ball to the Clooney Quin men. 2 minutes to go in this game, 4-12 to 13 points. It's Clooney Quin on their way to the quarterfinals, and it's certainly merited, you have to say.
Yeah, look, that passage just showed it there. I mean, you're winning by 11 points, 4-12 to 13. You know, you're in cruise control, and Rian Considine breaks through. There's a goal chance for Cratloe. He's swarmed by 5 Clooney Quin players. Like, you know, it's as if it's minute 1 to them. Like, they're still competing at a ferocious level. Goal chance here, Derek.
It's Mikey Curry onto the ball, just taken off him at the last moment. Still he goes forward, tried to flick it beyond Gearóid Ryan, who was brave coming out to that ball. Just picked up a little bit of a knock in the process, but brave goalkeeping from the Cratloe custodian. But Mikey Curry, we know how he can dance off left and right, but on that occasion, ball just got away from him. He kept after it, tried to flick it around, but in fairness to Gearóid Ryan, did well to stand his ground. Took a slap in the hand, I think, but it looks him down there as well. But he'll shake that off, and it'll be Cratloe to take the free. It's Liam Markham to strike it, trying to give it everything he has. Down here towards Conor Ryan, up goes the hand. It breaks down in front of him, but once again, it's Clooney Quin coming away with it, and it's the man wearing 23, Trevor Lee. He's had a very, very solid game. Back here now, once again, towards Mikey Curry, putting that ball in towards Duggan, and it's just gathered inside by Gearóid Ryan, and he's eventually wriggling clear from Peter Duggan. The umpires, Peter's asking, was that ball not over the line? Umpires are saying no, play continues down the far side of the field. It's Conor Ryan has it. Jack O'Neill goes after him. Conor delivers it right into the danger zone. A one-handed swing there from Evan Maxted. Wasn't overly decisive, but certainly decisive. Back there was Donagh O'Sullivan. Great work from him. Maxted now goes on, drives out from that half-back position. Out the line it comes towards Harrison. He's on the far side of the field, driving it away down, but once again looks like Cratloe have this one covered back there, and it's Enda Boyce at the minute that has it out to Shane Neville. He's right on that far touchline. Shane Harrison is after him. The clock has now hit 60 minutes. It's 4-12 to 13 points. It's Clooney Quin in front, and you're going to tell us very shortly, Derek Dormer, your Patrick Burke-Menswear man of the match.
Well, in fairness, like, there's been huge performances from Clooney Quin, you know, straight down the central. Conor Grogan was good at full back. John Keneally, outstanding as usual. Derek Hugh. I thought Jimmy Corrie and Donagh Sullivan worked like Trojans in midfield. Jack O'Neill, you know, belittled his youth, belittled his senior experience, gave a tremendous performance. And on any other day, Jack O'Neill would have been my man of the match. But you cannot get away from the Clare Intercounty senior star Peter Duggan. I mean, I think it's 2-5. It's his work rate, his appetite, his winning of a penalty, his audacious goal. It's an incredible performance, and my man of the match is none other than the great Peter Duggan.
And as you were giving it there to Peter Duggan, Dahi Collins forced a great save out of Cathal Hannon at his near post. Well picked out. Dahi had the opportunity to go down that right hand side and just cut in, tried to beat Cathal at his near post, but he was standing firm and batted it out there for a 65 that'll no doubt win around the mixer. So our Patrick Burke-Menswear man of the match is none other than Peter Duggan, so he can drop in there to the height to Stephen and Pat and all the crew to pick out a new pair of trousers or something, depending on whatever he's stuck for. We'll be in touch to tidy up all that during the week. This time the 65 is dropped in, and it's Lohan coming out, Damien Brown rather coming out now, trying to go in along the end line. He's dragged down to the ground. That was Udic O'Sullivan getting stuck in back there, and the referee again just saying that's going to be a free in, but it's all kind of immaterial now. It's Cratloe 4-12. That's a 24 point tally to Cratloe's 9 points. Clooney Quin 4-12, 24 as we said to Cratloe's 13 points. Here comes the free. It's dropped in by Cathal Mack, and again Jack O'Neill goes back to tidy things up. Niall Malone has the whistle in the mouth. Didn't quite get the injury time period as the ball comes down here just out over the sideline.
It's been interesting Senior B, Cratloe and 6 Mile Bridge.
Yeah, but don't say that just yet, because we don't know, do we?
Okay, yeah.
That all has to be tidied up, so we'll wait and see. We're being told 4 minutes of additional time, and 2 of those initially have been played. Ball cut into the hands there of Conor Ryan, just evading him on this occasion, and again Clooney Quin standing firm and driving forward. Referee says ball is there, off you go lads. Cathal McInerney does just that, peeling off the shoulder bowler is Conor McGrath just wouldn't come to hand for him first time, but that was because of the work rate put in back there by Donagh O'Sullivan to get the awkward stick in, not allowing the ball to stick to his hand as it normally would. Derek Yo is coming away with it, holding onto that ball, just one-handed away, doesn't mind where it goes now, and it goes out over the sideline, and Niall Quin tears down with the flag in his hand. It'll be a line ball for the Cratloe men. 90 seconds left in this game. Clooney Quin on their way to that quarter-final. Joining Newmarket from this particular group, John Cahill, and he's been challenged here by Conor McGrath. Referee happy enough to let the play go. Again, the ruck develops just a small bit scrappy. McGrath has it, turning around, trying to pick out a goal ball. He has just put it out to the right-hand side and wide. It just flashed across the goal. Cahill Hannon had dived to try and cover it. I'd say if it had been nestling in the corner, he wouldn't have got as far as it, but it just goes to the right and wide, and just kind of sums up Cratloe's day. Can't fault their effort, but just things not falling their way.
Yeah, you can't, especially the second half. They were far more competitive in the second half, but they'll go back to the start of the game. You know, you're playing with a wind. Opening period, first 10 minutes, and completely dominated. I know it was only 3 points. I think, the opening 3 scores went to Clooney Quin against the wind, and that kind of set the platform for Clooney Quin. Full value for their victory. And
Derek Yo looking to top it off, but this one's going to drop short, and Gerard Ryan has to come out, and it's just, is it going to go before the end line? It is. It's still in play. There might be more there for Clooney Quin as the ball goes to the back of the net.
Mikey Curry.
Than Mikey Curry. There's a man not far from us that'll have no doubt enjoyed that one. Mikey Curry with the finish for Clooney Quin. Really perceptive play, just first timed it into the back of the net. That is how you finish out a goal right on the death of the first half from that penalty, and a goal right at the end now as well for Mikey Curry. A 5-12 tally here for Clooney Quin. That is certainly sending out a message to all and sundry left involved in this race for the Canon Hamilton that Tommy Corbett and his men are marching on to the last 8 as Niall Malone has blown the full-time whistle. It's 5-12 Clooney Quin. It's Cratloe 13 points, and that is certainly a scoreline, Derek. I think that's going to be a major talking point. What an outstanding delivery from Clooney Quin.
Yeah, look, it's 17 scores to 13, but those 17 scores, 5 of them are majors. You just have to take your hat off to them. They wouldn't have been happy, as I said here 2 weeks ago against Newmarket. They came back to the same pitch, to the same venue. They came with a determination and a force. And Peter Duggan, the red card, I mean, there was huge talks about it. Everyone I spoke to felt it was a harsh one on the day. He, in my opinion, correctly got it rescinded, and he has delivered in spades today for his club. Getting that red card rescinded, he's after giving a man of the match performance, but they had leaders all over the field, straight down the centre, Grogan, Keneally, the midfield pairing of Jimmy Curry and Donagh Sullivan. By God, did they work like Trojans. They worked their socks off. And then Peter Duggan was just outstanding, along with Jack O'Neill, and all the forwards contributed. They all eventually got on the scoreboard. That impact from the bench. It's a thoroughly deserving victory, and it must be a great day for Clooney Quin supporters.
It certainly is. Cratloe out of the race for Canon Hamilton. They head for the Senior B. Clooney Quin into the quarterfinals along with Newmarket. We'll wrap up here from O'Garney Park. Your main evening news at 5:45. That's on the way very shortly. Before we do that, though, my thanks to Derek here on analysis, and to the Clare GA TV crew as well, and Brian and all the crew back at base. So thanks to a very happy Tommy Corbett down here. I can see him, of Tommy Corbett Financial Solutions. He was our commentary sponsor, as well as being the man guiding Clooney Quin to the last 8, and also to all the crew at Patrick Burke Menswear for their kind sponsorship of our Man of the Match award. That wraps up the live action, but don't forget, 2 more games to come this evening. We'll be keeping you posted on those later, but for now we'll hand back to the gang at studio. Your main evening news is next. Off position now. It's switched all the way across. A chance for Clooney Quin to get another one on the board, but it's broken down now. It's Dannon Fox coming onto it, shortens the grip and fires it home. Brilliant from Dannon. Once again, really tidy defending, but it's Shane Harrison that has it, and he's gone by Reid McNamara on that occasion. He's still going, has his strike at the posts and puts it over the bar. That's an outstanding. No, I'd say by that stance he's just going to pop it over the bar. But let's come back here, Derek, to Jack O'Neill's hand once again. He was outnumbered there 2-1, gets out in front, gets up the hand and launches it long. Count for a little bit of that when he's totting up his injury time. That'll come in around 10 minutes or thereabouts as Peter Duggan takes this free, and 'twas worth the journey as he sticks that ball straight over the bar. The next couple of minutes, there's a kind of an inevitable feeling starting to develop around this one. Long ball, and up goes John Keneally. That's an outstanding take by the young man, number 6. And very shortly indeed, there'll be a few happy heads around about that one as we watch Peter Duggan with this free between the two 65-metre lines. It's straight and true and right over the bar once again for bit of pace, and still he goes. The Limerick-based teacher, in it goes to Dahi Collins, slips it back to Cathal Mack once again. He's going through. Surely that's going to be a penalty. It certainly is coming back for a free.
Put across through the centre, and then it was runner after runner after runner. And Cathal Mack and McInerney got
the free. It's going to be taken by Irving Considine, and it's blocked inside in the line, right off the line.
We're out of the championship. I mean, it's incredible stuff. You think that like the county finalists from last year could be out, and tomorrow the county champions could be out. It just shows how open this Clare championship is. There's a monster point to 12. You're winning by 11 points. So I mean, it's job done really for Clooney Quin, and they can start thinking about their quarter-final opponents or whenever the draw is going to be made.
Cathal McInerney has picked off a lovely score.
You're Duggan, like, let's, you can't legislate for what that man can do.
Let's see, can he add another point to his tally? We'll be talking Patrick Burke-Bensware, man of the match, very, very shortly.
It's his work rate, his appetite, his winning of a penalty, his audacious goal. It's an incredible performance, and my man of the match is none other than the great
Conor McGrath, referee, happy enough to let the play go. Again, the ruck develops just a small bit scrappy. McGrath has it turning around, trying to pick out a goal ball. He has just put it out to the right hand side. Derek Yo looking to top it off, but this one's going to drop short, and Gerard Ryan has to come out, and it's just, is it going to go before the end line? It is. It's still in play. There might be more there for Clooney Quin.
Mikey Curry.
Mikey Curry. There's a man not far from us that'll have no doubt enjoyed that one. Mikey Curry with the finish for Clooney Quin. Really perceptive play, just first timed it into the back of the net. That is how you finish out a goal right on the death of the first half from that penalty, and a goal right at the end now as well for Mikey Curry. A 5-12 tally here for Clooney Quin. That is certainly sending out a message to all and sundry left involved in this race for the Canon Hamilton that Tommy Corbett and his men are marching on to the last 8 as Niall Malone has blown the full-time whistle.